by certain light to be measured. I say labor by certain height to be measured. It is not the day you achieve it that you measure it. You measure it in revelation before you achieve it. Let me say again. I say you measure it in dream before you achieve it. You measure it. What I say you do? Huh? You measure it. So the beginning of prosperity is to measure it. If you want to go distance in life, it's not when you arrive that you measure it. You measure it before you start. So the Babylonians measured it. They measured a city and the tower, and they discovered that the only way it can be done is through unrestrained imagination. They said, we are going to build a city and the tower, that the top will reach to heaven. And it is not vision that will do it for us. And it is not incarnation that will do it for us. What will do it for us is unrestrained imagination. That means whatever you want to be in life, you must meet the Spirit before you start making effort. Let me say again. I say whatever you want to be in life, you must meet a particular spirit that will help you to be that. And then stay in fellowship with that spirit before you make effort. Because it is that spirit that should guide your effort. Now, in 11, let us look at that scripture. You will like it. In Genesis 11, from 1 to 6, the Babylonians knew that a city and the tower, that the top will reach to heaven, cannot be built by vision. It's not just a visionary city. No. Vision is a small part. It is not just a visionary city. No. It's something more than that. It's not even something incarnation can achieve. No. It's something unrestrained imagination should achieve. And they gave themselves to imagination. Now, what you want to be on earth, is it vision that we achieve it? Or is it incarnation that we achieve it? Or is it imagination? If God is all in all, then the ministry of the Lamb have not achieved what he wants. The ministry of the Lion has also not achieved what he wants. That means he's going to wait for imagination. And the ability of the Babylonians to function through imagination is why they are there in 18 of Revelation. They were there in the beginning and they are there in the end, because imagination cannot be destroyed. And imagination is the last part of God's manifestation on earth. I say imagination means whatever you call God is what God is. You can't destroy it. And it doesn't have limitation. When Abraham came out of Babylonians, he started functioning as a man of faith. As a man of... But it was still imagination guiding the life of Abraham. But imagination could not bring out the totality of what God is, because Abraham was restrained. Abraham was. But he laid foundation for the journey to continue. Because when God brought Abraham in chapter 15 of the book of Genesis and asked him to count the stars, all the stars Abraham counted couldn't manifest. It was only one Isaac that manifested in the star. And then Abraham passed. But I was there when Abraham was counted. So why didn't he give back to me? Because I'm not of faith. I am of endless imagination. People that are going to be born, they were among them that were counted. Yeah, they didn't manifest in the days of Abraham, but they are called children of Abraham because of soundness of Abraham's imagination that had footing in the Babylonian foundation. So Abraham counted stars that have not even manifested now. And then he has hope. Because faith is hopeful. So there are some people that it is them that are restricting themselves. Abraham, his foundation is made on that imagination, but he laid foundation on it, but he couldn't accomplish it because he was having hope upon hope. So, do you have a revelational imagination of something you want to accomplish? Do you have an idea? That is, do you have a sanctified idea of a kind of future you have? Have you met the angel of your future who shows you the light of that destiny? The angel of your future that says, my friend, this is how your future look like. And this is the belief. I am the guardian angel of this future. This is the path, follow it. It is only by imagination that that city can be accomplished. Even though the Babylonians couldn't accomplish it, that particular city can only be built by imagination, not incarnation. That is why up to now, it is not yet built. You see, because people restrain God in their thought. People that restrain God in their thought cannot build it. No matter where you came from, don't restrain God in your thought. Always pray that God will do more than you think. Imagination will always believe that God will do more than he thinks. Let me say again. I say imagination will always believe that God will always do more than. Imagination will always say only God can do it for me. Imagination will always say, I don't know how it will happen, but I know that God will do it. That is how imagination reasons. Because God will always do more than you can think. That is imagination. So a city and a tower whose touch you reach to heaven, the foundation is laid on God who will always do more than I think. That is when he asks you to lay foundation on it, you don't have resources, you don't know how it will be, but you started. That is how imagination functions. All the men that achieved exceptional things on earth didn't have all the raw materials in their hand. They didn't have all the raw materials. They have something to start with. And then they keep believing God. Because imagination can't fail. God will always keep on coming to it. There is something that God will do. Let me tell you this before I go on. Imagination is the headquarters of eternity. I say imagination is of eternity. That is when you say God can do more than I think. It means you're saying, Ephesians chapter 3:20, that it is not by my power, not by might, but by your spirit. That is imagination. You say, Lord, I don't know how it will happen, but I know your power. That is imagination. So he said, now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power. Now, infinite imaginative power dwell on us, on those that have the Holy Spirit. This thing I'm trying to tell you is one of the greatest gifts of God on earth. That God can do this. I don't know how it will happen, but I know he can do it. Let me not limit him. Let me not limit me. Let me not limit him. Let me believe him. Let me conquer myself and say, yes, Lord. That miracle was declared. I think it is me. Let me sow seed to it, even though I don't know how it will happen. When the Babylonians, because they were human beings, when they started burning their mortars thoroughly, they were not sure of how it will happen. But they believe. The Bible says in the book of Galatians, the Bible says Abraham hoped against hope. Hoping against hope is that you're trying to hope on something you don't know how it will happen. But you're believing God. Now that is how imagination reasons. He doesn't doubt, even when he's not sure of how it will happen. Put your hand together for Jesus. Now, there are some things God will not accomplish in people's life until they come to where they will. Listen, when I started preaching immortality, I didn't know how it will happen. Even now, I don't know everything completely about immortality. I don't know everything completely about rapture. No, I don't know everything completely. So what I try to do is to obey part time. When I came here with 14 courses, there is nothing I wrote. I came with the courses. I didn't have anything in my mind, but I already believe that when I see the topic, I'll start teaching it. Even the ones I have not taught, that's how I will still teach it. Because if I am a child of God, I have to believe that God can do more. It's all about faith. And faith is action oriented. And then faith pleases God. And then God is a diligent rewarder of those who believe in him. All who rule the world are people of faith. Now, there is something here that is awesome in me when I said, Jesus is not God. Jesus is not God. That's my next sharing. If we say that Jesus is God, it means that the Lion of Judah will not come anymore. And there is no place that Jesus called himself God. Let us go back to Matthew chapter 16. All the places that Jesus spoke. Can you go ahead? Verse number 13, just David.
When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?
He said, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? He didn't say, who do men say God is? No. In 27, verse 54 of Matthew and Romans 1:4, there is no place Jesus called himself God. He said, now when the centurion and they that were with him, watching Jesus, he says, saw the earthquake and those things which were done, they fear greatly, saying, truly,
this was the Son of God.
That is the Son of Man. This is the Son of God. They didn't say this is God. No. Romans chapter 1 verse 4. He said, declaring to be Son of God with
power.
In Matthew chapter 17, he said, when the voice sounded, the voice didn't call Jesus. Call Jesus God. Okay, 17:5 of Matthew.